Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
Heartache and anger from a family today who faced the man convicted of murdering their loved one. It was all during the sentencing for Jacob Embry in Bexar County District Court.
Erica Hernandez takes us inside the courtroom for victim impact statements.
Jacob, you are a monster and a coward.
Family members of Daniel Ramirez filled the courtroom as Ramirez's mother, sister, and children faced his murderer, Jacob Embry.
The pain you caused me and my family will never go away for some of us. And I only wish that pain on everyone that loves you, because I hate you.
On June 1st, 2020, Embry and Ramirez got into an argument in the parking lot of a motel in the 2100 block of Southwest Loop 410. That argument led to Ramirez being shot by Embry multiple times, all of it caught on the motel's security cameras. It's a day Ramirez's mother doesn't like to remember.
I cry because I miss him. I cry because I remember. I have nothing but happy memories of my son. I refuse to remember that day that my son was taken from me.
Through all the pain and heartache, some forgiveness was expressed. Now, this case did not go to trial. Back in May, Jacob Embry did plead guilty. As part of that plea deal, he will be serving 20 years in prison. At the Cadena Reese Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Now to a big story we've been following all afternoon. A scary scene on the city's northeast side where a big rig barreled into a gas station. That crash happened around 10:30 this morning at I-35 and O'Connor Road. 3 people injured in this crash. They were all taken to a hospital. 2 of the 3 were working there on an ice machine. Their boss speaking with us after all this unfolded.
We were doing a repair right there, and one was in a ladder. So they said that this truck flipped over and pushed our truck into the store, knocked them off, and pushed them out.
According to SAPD, the 2 people who were fixing that ice machine had minor injuries. The driver of the truck suffered some more serious injuries to his arms, but everyone was able to walk away from this accident on their own. As for the cause of this crash, police said the driver of the truck told them his brakes weren't working properly. An investigation is now ongoing.
When Arturo Campos passed away back in 2004, 2 of the Apollo 13 astronauts came to pay their respects to his family. The Laredo native and former Kelly Air Force Base supervisor was the NASA electrical engineer who saved their lives. Apollo 13 suffered a power failure, but Campos had a plan and knew just what to do. Campos has been honored before, but Jesse Degollado says his family could use your help in getting his name into space and around the moon.
We have commit and we have liftoff.
Apollo 13's liftoff was picture perfect, yet its mission to the moon would become known as a successful failure.
Houston, we've had a problem.
2 days into the mission, an oxygen tank on board exploded. In order to get those stranded astronauts back to Earth, NASA called its electrical engineer, Arturo Campos.
I can still remember him being called out in the middle of the night because it was so rare.
Yvette Campos's father already had a contingency plan for a power failure that he then modified in real time, giving it to the control room to relay to the astronauts. Power was diverted from the lunar module to the command module, giving the astronauts enough power for the 200,000-mile trip back to Earth.
Without that solution, it would have ended up in tragedy.
Averting a national tragedy earned Campos and the operations team that day the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The new Orion spacecraft, lifting off later this year for its mission around the moon, could earn Campos an honor all his own. NASA put it to a popular vote. He and an island named for the mythical god Apollo are the finalists. They could have a Moonica named after them, in the command seat much less. Often mannequins equipped with sensors are used on board ahead of manned flights. Win or lose, Arturo Campos' family says an auto mechanic's son from Laredo, a graduate of UT Austin, will get the attention he deserves as the national hero he was.
And finally, his story gets to be told to all of America.
Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
Some great history there. Voting ends tomorrow at 10 a.m. and the winning name for the Moonican on board the next Orion flight being named soon after that. We have the link to vote on our website at ksat.com.
Everybody go vote. Crime Stoppers and San Antonio police are asking for help in solving a murder that happened 2 years ago. 18-year-old George Ramos was found dead from gunshot wounds at the intersection of Les Harris and Culebra Roads. Witnesses told police that Ramos was shot by a man who got out of a white Ford Expedition and then took off in the red car you see here. Police believe the suspect is between 19 and 25 years old and is between 5'8" and 5'11". Crime Stoppers is offering an $11,000 reward for any information that leads to an arrest in this case. If you have info, you're urged to call the number, Crime Stoppers number, that is 210-224-STOP.
The San Antonio Fire Department is still investigating a fire they say erupted inside an empty house. Take a look. Crews say when they arrived in the 1400 block of Fulton Avenue, they saw heavy smoke. The fire appears to have started near the front door, but did not spread to the rest of the home. No one lives there, and there are no utilities going to the house. Fire crews say they did find evidence inside the home that someone may have been squatting there. Investigators are now trying to figure out how that fire started. Damages are estimated to be around $25,000.
It is the end of an era at Northeast Baptist Hospital. Today is the last day babies will be born in the labor and delivery unit there. The hospital group will be consolidating its maternity services over to nearby North Central Baptist. Ursula Perry reports the news was bittersweet for those who've been delivering babies there for decades.
These Father's Day babies, some of the last for Northeast Baptist. They're adorable pictures, but still a bit bittersweet for some.
It's a little sad. It's the end of an era.
Up until COVID hit, Kay was part of the tight-knit Northeast Baptist Hospital maternity unit, delivering babies, a lot of them.
How many did I handle? At least 1,000 a year, and I worked for 16 years there.
These walls will see the last 3 babies born today. By Wednesday, they'll all be gone. The first time maternity and delivery has ever been empty here.
We've been there forever. We've been just the cornerstone of the community in that area. And now it's just going to be gone. It's like, oh my gosh.
The hospital says in a statement that it will now be offering moms, among other things, a broader range of specialized services for mom and baby, including a level 4 NICU at North Central Baptist Hospital, an in-house obstetrical hospitalist program providing patients with immediate access to a board-certified obstetrician 24/7, unquote. For Banus and other long-timers, there's reason for pride, though.
Many of us are friends with women that we met there. You're supposed to just be so professional, but there was a bond that was formed, and those bonds, many of them still continue. So it was a special place.
Northeast Baptist will continue to provide gynecological services as well as surgical services for women like hysterectomy, just no babies being born. Meantime, North Central Baptist is going to be expanding its women's services department with a renovation and construction project set to begin this fall. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
Turning now to a big national story. A massive heat wave has been burning through the Pacific Northwest, and experts say it is an unprecedented event.
Areas that seldom see weather in the upper 90s are now facing triple-digit heat. Our Sarah Spivey explains how this heat got there and how far north it's heading.
It's a type of temperature map that'll make you do a double take. Temperatures well above 110 degrees in the Pacific Northwest. On Sunday, the all-time hottest temperature ever was recorded in Portland, Oregon, where the thermometer reached 112 degrees in that city. And to put that in perspective, that's even hotter than San Antonio's all-time high of 111 degrees recorded in 2000. And it's not just the United States that's feeling the extreme heat. In fact, Monday, excessive heat warnings stretched all the way through Canada to the Arctic Circle for the first time in history. The nation of Canada also recorded its hottest temperature ever Sunday. In Lytton, British Columbia, the thermometer reached a scorching 116 degrees. Now, the National Weather Service has called this multi-day heat wave historic, dangerous, prolonged, and unprecedented, especially noting that a substantial part of these areas in this population do not have air conditioning. Some scientists are even calling it a 1 in 1,000 year event. So why so hot? A heat dome is centered over the U.S. and Canadian border, and under heat domes, high pressure causes sinking air. The higher the pressure, the hotter the temperature, and the intensity of this particular heat dome is stronger than any high pressure system this region has seen in recorded history. And climate change is likely playing a role in the extremes in the weather we've been seeing in the recent years. The heat in the Pacific Northwest is finally forecast to subside by the middle part of the week. For your Weather Authority, I'm meteorologist Sarah Spivey.
And what's really astonishing there that Sarah pointed out, parts of the Pacific Northwest hitting all-time record highs that are hotter than what we've ever had here in San Antonio.
Crazy.
Our record high is 111 set back, I think in the year 2000 in early September, and they've gotten hotter than us now. All right, so let's talk about our weather today. We topped out at 90 degrees. Not bad, actually 3 degrees below average. Our morning low, 74, exactly average. You look at the rest of the state, check out these highs. 73 in Amarillo and Lubbock. 78 for a high in Midland. El Paso at 70. Quite the opposite situation here because it's an active pattern and we have some areas of rain encompassing a good portion of the state. Carrizo Springs made it to 86, Del Rio 95, but Gonzales only 84 and New Braunfels had a high of 87. We're going to talk about more rain chances. If you missed out the past few days, you have another shot. I'll tell you when the most likely times are and peek ahead to July 4th as well. Tim?
Thank you, Adam. Some big changes might be coming to San Antonio roads. After the break, our Samuel King will tell us what to expect.
A massive fire that destroyed this unit you see right here at the residences at Medical Apartments has left many families without memories. We speak to a father of 4 who shares his experience as they try to escape the flames.
New projections for the San Antonio region telling a familiar story. Explosive growth is likely to continue.
Our Samuel King joins us now. And Samuel, how are transportation planners using these projections to help plan for the future?
Well, Tim and Myra, they'll factor into the type of road projects you may see in the future. The forecasts remain optimistic despite the COVID-19 pandemic. Bexar County projected to add more than 1 million people over the next few decades. Yes, 1 million people. Comal County's population projected to double. The Alamo Area Metropolitan Planning Organization is updating projections as part of its Mobility 2050 plan, which sets the region's long-term transportation goals. The Alamo Area MPO divides the region into 25 sectors. One thing projected to stay the same over the next 30 years, the Northwest Bexar County sector will continue to have the most people and the most jobs, as it's home to institutions like UTSA and the Medical Center. But the sector where jobs are expected to grow fastest is southern Bexar County.
We're expecting a lot of growth from the Texas A&M campus, the Toyota plant, and we're expecting those areas, those jobs to spawn a lot of extra growth.
Trailing slightly behind that area is eastern Comal County. The area around New Braunfels also projected to grow the fastest in terms of population, about 10% between now and 2050, followed by the Bernie Fair Oaks Ranch area. Planners also say more people in outlying counties like Wilson, Medina, and Atascosa counties will commute to jobs closer to San Antonio.
We included Atascosa and Medina because it's conceivable with the new census numbers to that they might become either included in our modeling area or even included in the NPO study area.
So get ready for a lot more neighbors here over the next 30 years or so. Researchers are quick to say they don't have a crystal ball and conditions could change. Again, they do plan to use these new population employment estimates to project where new transit and road capacity will be needed in the future. As for transit tonight, here's a look downtown. This is I-10 at Frio. Things looking a lot better than they did a little bit earlier. We do have a situation still here on the northeast side. This is at Eisenhower. We have a crash here, so we're seeing this delay. We had, of course, that crash we had earlier at Rittiman with a rollover there. But again, this is at Eisenhower, causing some delays on 35. We mentioned downtown, it is quickly improving. And out here to the northwest side, you will have some construction again tonight on 1604. All week, 28 minutes now to get from 281 to Bandera Road. That is something that's going to continue throughout the week. Tim and Myra?
All right, thanks, Samuel. Look outside with Sky 12, a nice change, a cool change, I guess you could say, especially for this time of year. Is that correct? 79 degrees?
Isn't that something?
Wow.
I know, it's kind of comical. We've been giggling at it because, wait, what? It's almost July and 70s in the afternoon.
And we will take it. Yes.
To be fair, we briefly hit 90, but even that's a few degrees below average. The average high this time of year is 93 degrees. And so it's all because of this weather pattern that we're in, where we get these pop-up afternoon and early evening downpours, kind of tropical in nature, and that limits our heating a bit and sends out some cooling breezes here and there. Now, if you missed out on the rain the past couple of days, you still have some more opportunities ahead, especially tomorrow. We think it's pretty much going to be a repeat performance of today, about 40% coverage across South Texas. Then you see those chances drop off, so the showers will be more limited in nature and not as much coverage across our area, especially by Thursday and Friday, but then likely to see those rain chances ramp up again as we get into the weekend. And that does include the 4th of July holiday. So let's chat about it all right now. First, everywhere you see a color on the map here, that indicates radar estimates. So you picked up some rainfall, especially Medina County into eastern Bandera County. Now, actual rain gauge measurements are not all that impressive out there in parts of our area. However, the radar estimates were looking good, and we had some reports in between rain gauges of a couple of inches of rain. So they did drop some decent rainfall. A few little pop-ups have developed in Wilson and Karnes counties, but those should be very limited and not last that long. Same within Gonzales County. The action that was farther to the north of us, now northern Kendall County, Blanco County, moving into Gillespie County. As we lose the sunlight and the daytime heating, this action is all going to gradually just diminish and fade away. Even south of town, a little bit of activity just west of Beeville there, George West area, and closer to the Rio Grande, not much to talk about. It's all mainly north of town right now, even though we did have some showers here in San Antonio earlier today. Here's the 6-hour loop. Actually, it's more than 6 hours, and you see the rainfall activity. Once you get into the afternoon, the coverage becomes more widespread, and you get better coverage in terms of the rain. Far west Texas, I always talk about it now because that's really the last part of Texas that's drought-stricken. They're getting some good downpours again today. This is good maintenance rain for the state. We like to see this. Drought-stricken New Mexico even getting in on some showers. So it's nice to see this pattern, especially as we get into summertime here when we typically have the heat high right overhead. Tomorrow, I think we do this all over again. We'll see more random downpours popping up across South Texas, scattered in nature, some of them providing a few quick inches of rain, quick couple of inches of rain, whereas other folks getting nothing. It's just the random nature of it. By the middle and end of the week, a weak upper level high, a little blue H settles in, and that's going to suppress our activity a little bit. That's why we saw those rain chances falling off, particularly Thursday and Friday. But then that high breaks down and we ramp those chances back up into the weekend and early next week. So if you missed out and you continue to miss out, don't worry, we have more opportunities. New Braunfels now at 80, Stinson 82, Castroville 80 degrees, Bernie 73, Kerrville 72, Rio Medina 76. So often this time of day, this time of year, we're talking nothing but 90s to near 100 on the map. That's not the case with those showers and some rain cool there. I mean, Uvalde 74, Del Rio, the hot spot at 92. Of course, we still have some humidity out there and we're feeling that mugginess. So this evening, temperatures gradually falling through the 70s, maybe a stray sprinkle tonight and early tomorrow morning. We had a few spritzes and sprinkles today. We could have a few tomorrow, but the downpour is really holding off until we get into the afternoon. Probably briefly hitting 88 to 90 degrees, and then we'll see that temperature fall off again. Once we really don't see as much afternoon rain, we're thinking mid-90s. So that's basically Friday, mid-90s at that point, and then 4th of July. Right now we're thinking it's going to look and feel a lot like what we had today and yesterday with those afternoon showers. By fireworks time in the evening, most of it should be fading away.
That is not too bad. Thanks, Adam.
There is a new coach for the Celtics up in Boston.
And he's a very familiar face to San Antonio Spurs fans because he used to be a Spurs assistant coach. Can you imagine being named the head coach of the Boston Celtics? That is the case today for Ime Udoka. When we come back, you'll hear from him and Mario Barrios, a champion even in defeat, coming up. Former Spurs assistant coach Ime Udoka was introduced today as a new head coach of the Boston Celtics, the 18th head coach in the storied franchise history. He takes over for Brad Stevens, who moves up into the Celtics front office as the president of the team, succeeding Danny Ainge, who announced his retirement. Udoka played professional basketball for 12 years, 7 in the NBA, before moving into coaching. He was an assistant under Spurs head coach Greg Popovich for 7 seasons before moving to the Philadelphia 76ers, most recently the Brooklyn Nets, before he's named the Celtics head coach today. One thing that will help him with some of the game's superstars is his time as assistant with Pop on the U.S. men's basketball team during the 2019 World Championships.
It's an honor to be part of this historic franchise. And in our conversations, in the interviews, the Zoom interviews, it was pretty evident and clear early on that me and Brad had a pretty good connection. And when I got with the whole crew, Allison as well, it was their passion that was attractive to me. Obviously, the roster is great, but the relationships I have with those players, and it's easy to see why this organization has been so successful. The people I've met today, it takes me to my San Antonio days, and whether it's Philadelphia, Brooklyn, good people in the good building, and I look forward to having the success with you guys. The relationships have been great, and I look forward to building those. But as far as the players and the roster, I'm very excited, honored to be part of it. And like you said, let's go for 18.
Yeah, 18 championship, that is. Now, one of the people Emmy is expected to add to his staff, Spurs assistant coach Will Hardy. With today's announcement, that leaves just 3 coaching vacancies in the NBA. That started out as 7, Orlando, Washington, and New Orleans. Spurs assistant coach Becky Hammon was beat out by Chauncey Billups for the Portland vacancy and has interviewed with the Magic. But now a new name has emerged as a candidate in Orlando, and that's former Magic player Penny Hardaway, according to The Athletic. Hardaway played for Orlando from 1993 to 1999, is now the head coach of the University of Memphis. Tonight is the night the Clippers face a must-win when they take on the Suns in Phoenix. That's because they are down 3-1, and once again will be without Kawhi Leonard, who's yet to play in the Western Conference Finals since injuring his right knee in Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals. As a result, the Suns are 6-point favorites. Tip-off time tonight, 8 p.m. When 2 undefeated boxers climb into the ring, only one is going to emerge as unbeaten. Such was the case Saturday night. Gervonta Davis defeated San Antonio's own Mario Barrios in the 11th round TKO to take Barrios his WBA super lightweight belt and hand him his first professional defeat at 26-1. Started to unravel in the 8th round when Davis put Barrios on the canvas twice, first with a right hook, and then about 20 seconds later, he would drop Mario again with a left hook. Then blood began showing from Barrios with a cut over his left eye. Barrios would corner Davis in the 9th, but could never drop him, spending a lot of energy to try and do that. Then in the 11th round, a brutal body shot right there with left would send Mario to the canvas again. He would take the standing 8 count before the referee allowed the fight to continue, but then Davis landed a left to Barrios' face. He was out on his feet, and that's when the ref moved in to stop the fight, giving Davis a TKO in the 11th. And his 3rd title, Barrios was a champion even in defeat.
I heard great things about this place, and I look forward to coming back here and fighting again. But man, never been a hater. Congrats to Tank. He came in here, he did his thing. It was nothing short of an exciting fight, and that's exactly what both of us predicted. But he's walking away tonight the better man, but I'll definitely be back.
Yes, he will, and be back even better.
Great fight.
It was a fantastic fight. Yep.
Thank you, Greg.
We'll be right back. A cascading citywide disaster. That is how a new report out now characterizes the February winter storm that hit San Antonio and so much of our state. That report looks at what went wrong and recommendations made about what could keep us from going through that again. So in today's KSAT Q&A, we're happy to welcome Reed Williams, who is the chairman of the Emergency Preparedness Committee, which formulated that report, that committee formed by the mayor of San Antonio. So Reed, thanks for being here with us. This is a 46-page report, so much information to go into, and we actually have some graphics that kind of outline the main bullet points, the main takeaways of what went wrong. So let's talk about the recommendations. Let's start with the city level. What did this committee find needs to happen with CPS Energy and SAWS to prevent something like this from happening again?
Sure. I can't see your graphic, but from the CPS perspective, we just need to run our plants and take care of that for sure. And then when we do have a problem and we have load shedding, we need to be able to equitably distribute the outages among the interruptible circuits. And I think most importantly, and we'll see across not only SAWS, CPS, and the city's EOC, is communications. We've just simply got to get the communications better, not only before the event, but during the event.
Reed, Governor Abbott said that the legislature did everything it could to address the problems. This report, coming up with 60 recommendations, would certainly seem to say that that is not the case. Did the state do enough, and will this report here on the local level help change things up further higher on the feeding chain, so to speak?
Well, to answer your first question first, Tim, I don't think they care about what we have to say, but we need to take care of ourselves and do what we can. To answer your second question, no, they didn't. Because if you have had a chance to look at the report, you can clearly see that after deregulation about 20 years ago, there was really no incentive to install what I would consider reserve capacity. That's capacity that's not used very often at all. And there just wasn't the economic incentive to do that. So we're going to have to come up with some way, if we're going to have a reliable grid, we're going to have to come up with some way that everybody has to start ponying up some reserve capacity. And that's whether they're just a power seller, marketer, or whether they're actually a producer and distributor like ourselves.
You worked in the oil and gas industry for years. You're a former city councilman. So I'm curious just how that background helped you come up with some of these recommendations. I know there was a committee that was part of this as well. But is there anything that you want to make sure ratepayers know when it comes to making recommendations to keep us out of this mess going forward? Because once the lights came back on, the heat came back on, then we all started wondering, okay, how much is the last week going to cost us? Right. So what do you think ratepayers really need to know about this report and going forward?
Well, I'm not sure I can unpack all those questions, Myra, but let me see if I can remember them. First of all, I think spending almost 35 years in the refining business, I was around a lot of, unfortunately, we did have a lot of events that we had to figure out what happened and why and get to the bottom of it and get them corrected. So that's all we tried to do. We had a great committee. We had very good folks from the council on, as well as two citizens. And though it was a great group, I mean, I think that was a big part of it. As far as what it's going to cost us, as far as the city, a lot of that we don't know yet. We have really two cost components. One is what we buy and sell from ERCOT and as far as power and ancillary services. And then we have the outstanding natural gas bill that we still don't know. That's in litigation. We don't know what that's going to happen. So my guess is that it will be some time before we know exactly what it's going to cost us. But what I worry about is what it could cost us in the future in human misery and lives and lost opportunities. If for some reason we do lose the whole grid, we've got to address this problem, not only to save money out of our pockets, but save lives.
If I threw too much at you there, you handled it well. So I want to wrap up with this question. I know one of the recommendations in this report was for CPS Energy to reevaluate the way that it buys and stores natural gas. What is this committee recommending CPS change?
We didn't recommend anything specifically on that. We just asked that they look at some approach. And it's really our job was to bring up the why and the what, and not necessarily get into their expertise. But we are going to have to figure out a way that if we're going to use what I would call dispatchable power, which is primarily natural gas generators, we're going to have to find a way, and that's got to be firm power. We've got to have a firm supply of natural gas. The generators aren't firm if the gas isn't firm, and if you're buying them on an indexed basis against some market price at the time, it's going to be very hard. And that is a discussion I think that CPS will have internally, I hope.
Reed Williams, chairman of the Emergency Preparedness Committee that recommended all of these findings and pinpointed what went wrong, which not too many of us will forget that week in February. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Myra. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, sir. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. Major issue right now on I-10 heading outbound away from San Antonio. This is I-10 at De Zavala. This is the train sky view. It's a little closer to Fredericksburg. I'm going to step out of the way here so you can get a better look at what's going on. So we have a rollover here in westbound lanes. A couple of lanes are shut down. There's the vehicle. You see traffic on the frontage road there. You see traffic behind. So this is going to be an issue for you if you are heading home this evening. Just to show you a little bit where this is, actually sort of closer here, but you see the backup down to 7 miles per hour with only a couple of lanes going by there on I-10. And this is a look at what's doing to your travel time. It's going to take you 37 minutes to head outbound to Boerne. You see the other way, 24 minutes. Now inside 1604, that's the bulk of that delay, 25 minutes now. From downtown to 1604, only 13 minutes the other direction. So give you one more look at this. Again, roll over here on the west side, on I-10 northwest side, heading outbound. So this is something that we'll continue to keep an eye on through the end of the newscast. Tim and Myra.
All right, thank you, Samuel. Look outside with live cam right now. Some clouds, which helped us out today in terms of the temperatures, and some rain in spots, Adam.
Yeah, some rain, cooling breeze from some of those showers, even where you didn't get rain. Temperatures fell off a bit this afternoon. It's the nice trend. It's kind of a tropical air mass and pattern that's in place when you get those afternoon pop-up downpours, some of which drop a few quick inches of rain. Right now we're at 79 degrees. We'll be mid-70s by 10 o'clock. Late tonight after midnight and early tomorrow morning at sunrise, probably lower 70s. But if you missed out on the rain, you have more opportunities. We're going to talk about that 4th of July and take a look at some of those rainfall totals coming right up.
The curtain was lifted on the first Broadway show with 100% capacity, which I don't believe is the correct video, though those mountains look very nice. Excited fans poured into the St. James Theater on Saturday night. The boss himself back live on stage in the production of Springsteen on Broadway. Adults had to show proof of FDA-approved vaccine, specifically Pfizer, Moderna, or Johnson & Johnson. The only exception was children under the age of 16. However, some people protested the theater's vaccination rules, saying the theater was separating people because some don't want to take a dangerous injection, according to those folks.
Yeah, the important takeaway, the boss is back and so is Broadway. So. Meanwhile, in the buzz, so who doesn't love a good treasure hunt? Well, in Utah, the hunt is on for a treasure chest full of cash hidden somewhere in the wilderness there. Two men say they hid $10,000 in a 100-mile stretch of woods between Brigham City and Provo, Utah.
There are those beautiful mountains. The pair announced the treasure hunt on social media by posting a poem full of clues, and new hints will be posted every Friday. They also send the clues out in a newsletter you can sign up for on their website. That's UtahTreasureHunts.com. Now, this is not the first time they have done something like this. Last year, they hid $5,000 that was found in 4 days. I'd say it won't take people long.
Yeah.
Lego is trying to make its iconic toy bricks more sustainable. The Danish toy maker unveiled a prototype brick made entirely from recycled plastic. Lego says the plastic came from discarded bottles and that the material meets the company's strict quality and safety requirements.
A 1 liter plastic bottle provides enough raw material for 10 2x4 Lego bricks. Don't look for the bricks just yet on shelves. Lego says it will be quite some time before they hit store shelves. Once they figure that out, maybe they'll figure out how to make them not hurt when you step on them in the middle of the night. Are you right, Adam Caskey?
I was just thinking that. Or like disintegrate if a very young child, puts one in their mouth.
Yes. Your boys are probably too young for the Legos.
I'm not there yet, but
you will
I'm
be.
sure I will be. And then we can all commiserate together.
Even in the shaggy carpet upstairs. Oh, I thought that carpet solved that problem. It doesn't.
Right now I'm stepping on Hot Wheels cars. Better or worse than a Lego?
Depends on the angle.
Okay.
Depends on the angle and quantity.
Yes.
Oh, we could go on and on. All right, I want to start out with a look at the rainfall map today. These are just the rainfall estimates today, and you see out there we've got decent amounts in some spots, upwards of an inch, Devine, Hondo, even up toward Pipe Creek. But of course, radar estimates are everything. In between those actual rain gauges, we've got very different amounts out there. And we can take a look at some of this activity that we still have on the radar screen. And of course, some of the Rainfall estimates over the past 12 hours. And we start now with the activity on the radar screen. This is all mainly north of San Antonio. Most of the shower activity has been outside of Bexar County today. Yesterday, we had a few downpours. Today, just some light rain. Right now, the action, this is all north of town. Kendall County, moving up into Gillespie County, Blanco as well, and a little bit of development southward towards Sisterdale. And the action that's in Kerr County is really dissipating and falling apart. A lot of this is just some of the cloud cover, the mid-level clouds being detected by the radar that's left over from the showers and a few thunderstorms earlier today. We also have a little bit of pop-up activity. Wilson County, Gonzales County, Karnes County, this action should not last very long. Already a few of them have popped up and then rained themselves out. As for the rainfall accumulations today, we'll take a look at the radar estimates. And over the past 12 hours, we really have some sweet spots out there. Where you see the yellow, that typically means radar estimates of about 2 to 4 inches of rain. Divine, up toward Hondo, Medina Lake, just west of Rio Medina, this yellow area, that's where we had high accumulations. I mean, right here, right over Medina Lake Reservoir, 3.8. You get closer to Hondo, especially on the southwest side of Hondo, 2.1 inches. So that swath, obviously very impressive, and it stretches all the way up through Pipe Creek and toward the Comfort area. All right, let's talk about the big picture. Look at the showers, the tropical downpours that popped up throughout the day today, especially during the peak heating in the afternoon. I think we'll see this again as we go through tomorrow. It's nice to see that rain in far west Texas. That's the most drought-stricken part of our state. The rest of it is just good maintenance rain to maintain our lack of drought and keep us drought-free. So it's nice to see that. As for tomorrow, more of the same. It's going to be random in nature. You have another chance, but cross your fingers because just a few miles away from you could be 2 inches of rain and you nothing or a trace. It's random in nature. Then we start to cut down on those storm chances a bit for the middle and end of the work week before we ramp them up into the weekend. Little high pressure system is going to settle overhead, and that's going to keep the activity highly isolated in nature, we think, Wednesday through Friday. Today, only a trace at the airport. 90 degrees our high temperature. We briefly hit 90. Then the temperature fell off because of some of those showers. 79 right now. You look across the state. 67 in El Paso. Obviously some rain cooled air. 79 Dallas. This is not your typical late June and early July weather map here, but because of the nature of the pattern, the showers and extra clouds, consequently, a little cooler out there. Not typical. Stray sprinkle in the morning tomorrow, then more scattered or widely separated downpours. 88 the high temperature. And we look ahead. I talked about those rain chances falling off quite a bit, especially Thursday and Friday. So it'll be a bit warmer, mid-90s by Friday. Then into the weekend, 4th of July, I think it's going to be a lot like today. During the afternoon, some downpours, but by the evening, a lot of the activity coming to an end.
Got a bad feeling we're going to pay for this in late August and September.
That's typically when we're the hottest.
Is that how it works?
Yes.
All right, thanks, Adam. In case you missed it, coming up next. Here's today's In Case You Missed It.
First at 5, San Antonio police and EMS responding to a major crash at I-35 and Ritterman Road. This is what the scene looked like just a few minutes ago. You can see the crews are working to get a vehicle out of a ditch after it crashed.
New at 5, a shooting ends with one man dead and an investigation into how it happened. San Antonio police found the man behind a bus stop overnight in the 6100 block of Ingram Road near Callahan Road. When officers arrived on scene, they found that man lying on his back with a fatal wound to his abdomen.
Arson investigators are looking into an overnight fire at a Northwest Side apartment complex that left 8 families without any place to live. The fire broke out just before midnight at the residences of the medical apartments at the 2500 block of Babcock. Residents say that the fire started on the ground floor of one of the buildings, but then it quickly spread to all the other units in the building. San Antonio firefighters tell us all the residents made it out safely. None of them heard any smoke alarms or smoke detectors going off.
Canada has now surpassed Texas's record for most COVID vaccines administered in one day at a single site. It happened yesterday when nearly 27,000 shots were given at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. Workers there began vaccinating people who had appointments and then started taking walk-ins. The city's mayor had proclaimed it Toronto Vaccine Day. Officials say the site broke the current record that was held by Texas when it surpassed 17,000 vaccines by 8 p.m. So far, Toronto has administered more than 3.2 million vaccines.
We're still watching the situation on I-10 westbound at De Zavala. Traffic backed up all the way to Hebner Oaks. There was a rollover crash. It looks like they've got the vehicle upright, so that's good news, but they're still working on that area. You can kind of see the backup as we were showing you that on the map. So if you were heading westbound on I-10, might want to wait a few minutes or use alternate routes, maybe use Vance Jackson to get around this. And once you get past this area, things do improve greatly. But again, I-10 westbound at De Zavala, Adam, some backups there because of an earlier rollover crash.
And weather-wise, rain not really impacting traffic right now. A lot of those showers have really dissipated. There's a few left up in Kendall County, and that's about it. Otherwise, tomorrow I think we're going to do this all over again. Mainly cloudy, especially in the morning, briefly in the upper 80s to near 90. Then the widely separated random downpours develop into the afternoon and even lasting into the early evening hours as well. By Wednesday, some isolated action, and then we really don't see as much Thursday and Friday till we get back into the weekend.
All right, thanks, Adam. And thanks for watching the news at 6.
We'll see you back here for the Night Beat tonight at 10. Till then, have a good evening.